So yeah, in one of our videos we talked recently about how a lot of people don't know we're a guitar shop.
But we are.
We are a guitar shop, and we do guitar shop things, and we have friends with other guitar shop people.
Yes.
That work in them, that own them, that used to work at them, that used to own them.
Yes.
And that's kind of what we want to get into now is like why certain guitar shops fail. And we want to preface this as like it can happen to any guitar shop.
Are you saying... Oh my God.
That's included. No, we've made lots of bad choices and ding-dong mistakes along the way.
You hired me once upon a time?
Yes. No, and then you hired me back. It was a strange moment. And then I remember like James one day, like when we got like our first time we got like our wood carved Fender signs, and it says, oh, he's like, man, can I have this when we go out of business? Like I love that quote from him. And I was like, man, that sucks. This is after we've been open for like a few months, not even 6 months. Like, when we got out of business, can I have this? I'm like, oh, sadness.
Yeah.
You've worked at guitar shops.
I have.
And you've seen this happen.
I have.
So I mean, let's just go first. A lot of guitar shops fail when a bigger guitar shop, like Guitar Center, moves into town. If you're like the local mom and pop, and Guitar Center moves in, you're in trouble.
Yes.
And now, unless you're a well-established mom and pop and you sort of focus on what you do, this happens with a lot of great sort of like. And I say mom and pop. I mean, you can call Chicago Music Exchange a mom and pop at one point, or you could call Wildwood Guitars or Wilcut Guitars, like the monsters of the guitar world, mom and pops because it's independently owned.
Right.
They know how to survive and navigate the big boys coming in and trying to decimate.
Sure.
And it's okay. And sometimes some shops, I think it's okay to be decimated. Like it's time for the cycle to move on.
Yeah, and models change and the way things happen change. And
so that's step one is if a big major, it's like when Blockbuster moved in and wiped out all your local video store guys. And except for ours stayed, which was funny. And he beat Blockbuster. I think they like had to shut down first, which was awesome. Anyway, so that's one. What's another? What about the place you worked at in
Charleston? Oh Lord, there were like outside of Charleston, Somerville, South Carolina. Man, there were a lot of things going on there. You have to actually pay for the guitars that you get. So you should probably do that. That's pretty high on the list of priorities.
So as a guitar shop, we are offered things called terms.
Yes.
When we buy guitars from the manufacturers, we are given like 30, 60, 90, 120-day terms, quick pay sometimes, like a couple percents off. Like I mean, literally a couple, not much. Oh, 10% off. That doesn't exist. That'd be amazing. But it doesn't exist. It's like 1%, 2% max. But what a lot of guitar shops will do is they'll sell their piece and then they'll take that money and that small bit of profit and reinvest that and buy another piece without paying off that.
Right.
Or they just will say, hey, we just made this money, and they won't pay their bill.
Like, woohoo, party, tequila shots. Yeah.
And then what happened with that shop that you're at in particular?
Well, so I was young. I had no idea sort of what was going on, right? Like in any sense of the word. I was just kind of an idiot because you're an idiot when you're 19, 20 years old, right? But one day, a man showed up from the place that we got distribution from, and he's like, hey, kid, where's this guitar? And I was like, oh, that guitar, I sold that guitar 6 months ago. Oh, really? And then he checked his little sheet. He's like, where's this guitar? Oh, I sold that, last week. Oh, really? Where's this guitar? Oh, I sold that last year. So apparently they had not been paid for any of these guitars. And they actually came and took some guitars off the wall. And interestingly enough, the owner had not shown up for a week or two.
Oh, so like little Johnny Rob, 19-year-old,
like,
running the shop. I'm like, hey, sorry. So did the owner show up and be like, hey, where's my guitars? Or was he kind of like, oh, I get it?
It was a whole drama. So when he showed up, like, it was just, everything was going crazy. I got fired the day he showed back up. That's a whole story in and of itself.
At all? I'm just curious.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, my other friend who was older than me, who was teaching drums there, actually ended up buying that shop after everything went down and everything.
I don't even understand why you would buy a shop that's so bad.
Well, he just used the building, changed the name, turned into a wonderful shop and an amazing teaching studio that is still there.
Bro, that's crazy.
Somerville Music Center now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Somerville Music Center down there in Somerville.
In Somerville.
Right outside Charleston.
Check them out.
That's really cool. Well, let's check that out next time we get to leave our guitar shop,
Yes.
which we don't get to leave ever. So paying your bills, that's one thing. And it's a lot of, and it's a lot of people don't do that. They just forget the idea of that. I think, modernization is a huge thing we've noticed. And I've had some friends who've had guitar shops for decades, and they've gone out of business through the pandemic.
Right.
And it was because they didn't have a website.
Yes.
Not having a website is really inexcusable today.
I mean, even before the pandemic, it was really hard to make it on just foot traffic. People coming in, where you got the pad that you write the receipt out on. I mean, like, that's kind of cool. It's nostalgic, but it's really hard.
Those are times gone by.
Yeah.
It's a different day now. It's a lot of shops would not have. They'd start developing a website during the pandemic, but it's too late.
Yeah, you're behind the curve
because everyone else is already set up.
Right.
And if you're not set up when it hits, it's almost like you're swimming against the current there.
Right.
And so a lot of folks just went belly up that way.
Which is sad to me. I mean, because I think we try really hard to have that vibe and feel when people come in.
Yeah.
But with all the modern things.
No, it is sad. I think that's where some of these great other shops that we already mentioned can capture that, and they keep it, and it's fun.
Yeah.
I love those shops. I love going there. I like checking out their website, and they're all nice people.
Yes.
That's another thing is staffing.
Ooh.
Like your team, your team has to be awesome, and warm and fuzzy and knowledgeable, and not probably smoking cigarettes outside and uninterested in the customer coming into the door. It's like,
I've been to shops like that where I walk in, nothing. Which, I totally get it. You get busy, but I'm hanging out. Hey, could I try this guitar? Yeah. Or don't touch it. Don't scratch. I mean, I get it. You got to take care of the product.
Or don't be a guitar.
Be friendly.
Don't be a guitar snob either.
Yes.
Don't talk down on the people coming. Oh, you didn't know what a 1056V was. Weird. Why would you want to try this then?
Right.
It's like, well, I didn't know what it was until I tried one either.
That's why you go to guitar shops to try things.
That's the whole idea of a guitar shop, is like why it's so brilliant still, and not just online. Like, don't get me wrong, we do tons online, but the guitar shop experience, you can actually get your hands on everything.
Yes.
And talk to people and do bounce ideas off them. And if they're knowledgeable and honest and fun, you're going to have a great experience and learn something and get the right instrument for you.
And the most fun experiences are when, because I have people come in all the time and we have conversations, and maybe I know something and they know something, and we both end up learning. It's a really cool sort of transaction and experience.
It's flashing back to Three's Company, that old sitcom for some reason. Like, sounds like Three's Company with John Ritter.
Door.
Yeah, that's it.
I for some reason I loved that show as a child.
I know. I think I did too. I don't know.
Why. I just thought it was great.
That's just that whole idea of, I don't know why that reminded me of Three's Company. I apologize. I was thinking about Bosom Buddies the other day too with Tom Hanks. It's a Tom Hanks show. Fantastic. It's where he got started, and that's kind of like somebody asked us. They asked if we had a poster we could send to them, an autograph. Like, I was like, we don't have posters, but I could get you a Jay and Silent Bob movie poster, and I'll sign
and we'll
that.
sign it. It'll be great.
And a small footnote to Baxter's Life. My sister was a producer on that movie.
What?
And she said it was fabulously fun to work on meeting some of those people.
Well, there you go.
I don't know what level producer she was. She could be like bringing straws, or she could be like telling people what to do. I think it was somewhere in the middle. But she's a very interesting experience, and a lot of those characters are real.
Who knew?
A real life.
Who knew?
Jay and Silent Bob, Strike Back.
Okay,
love it.
That's amazing.
From Clerks and Clerks 2, which is also brilliant fodder for your brain. Kevin Smith, thank you. Anyway, back to guitars. Location can be an issue as well.
Yes.
Obviously, this is another location thing. Not as much as it used to be, though.
I was going to say the whole thing, the last thing we talked about with the website, sort of neutralizes that a little bit.
So yeah, if you have a great, because some shops now have just a website. There's Guitar Store USA or something. I can't remember the name of it also.
Sure.
But there's a bunch. I know some guys that just steal Fender guitars through Amazon.
Yep.
And don't have a guitar. Which is really weird. They sell Fender guitars and sniper rifle scopes.
Hey, got to find your place in the
They
market.
found a niche, and they sell like SRV Fenders a lot. That's kind of what they do. It's a weird niche they found. I don't know how they sell so many, but they sell a ton of them. But yeah, location can be a huge deterrent. Like, this. And your store decor and whatnot. I think the old model of strip mall, as many okay guitars on the wall as possible, is not as valid today as like a comfortable shopping experience. Right. Where like having seating,
yes,
just basic ideas, because the buyer has changed. It used to be a pretty much 99% male dominated guitar shop experience, Now it really is 50-50.
I'd say, yeah.
It's
May even start to swing the other way a little bit.
may swing. Girls are smarter than boys in general, and so
We all know that.
it's they will be better guitar players from here on out. It makes me sad. I used to have something I was better at.
But will their beard be as nice as mine?
Or my faux beard.
Or yours?
Which I'll have to shave soon because it feels like a teddy bear sitting on my
maybe.
face. Okay, it's driving me nuts. I mean, how do you sleep at night? It's just depressing. Well, what else? What are some other things that you might think would be like a red flag towards
the old guitar shops closing? I think, like you said, staff is really important.
We've hit most of the major loggerheads. It was really just online presence.
Right.
The major guys coming into your town, unless you know how to compete with that, your staffing.
What about product selection? What lines you carry?
That was where I was hoping we would finish up at. That's perfect. Thank you. It's what lines you do choose to carry with, who you want to dance with, because it is a partnership. We have a whole other video coming out on like how we choose our lines.
Right.
But it's a very important process because you have relationships with these people, but it's also the brands you carry. Like if you're like sort of folksy guys, you're probably not going to be carrying Jacksons. Don't do that because the Jackson rep comes through and your customer base isn't that. If your customer base is shredders, have shredder guitars if that's what you are.
Guitars with points on them.
Which they're awesome. I think I have a BC Rich somewhere over there, like an old one from the 80s. Yep.
Well, people ask us about that a lot, and that's not really us. It's not that we don't like that. Like, we think that's super cool, but we don't know as much about that, So, but we love Fenders and Gibsons and Paul Reed Smith, so we gravitate to that.
It is. It's like that, and that's one of the huge things. Is like, are you going to be a boutique shop, a vintage and consignment type store, the major players store, a hybrid of all?
Focus on lessons. There's all sorts of little places in there. You just got to find the right spot.
But at the end of the day, summarizing all of that, just don't put your guitar shop next to a strip club, unless you want to be extremely successful. No, there's a great Thai place next to our gentleman's club in town. Like, and it's next to the breakfast place I go with my family every Saturday. It's right next to where we do Taekwondo.
And where we do Taekwondo.
Oh my God, it's apparently really nice. I've never been there. It's none of us have ever been there. I hear.
My son's always like, "What is that?" I was like, "Don't worry about it. It's
I don't
cool."
know. It's where gentlemen go. Gentlemen. But it's location again. It's hugely important, and I just want to have a little fun with that. God, sizzling steak and eggs, Thai food, Taekwondo, and the gentleman's club. It's a fascinating life we live. Let us know what you think, and like in your experiences and struggles with it. We've had lots of struggles so far, and lots of successes too. But another thing I just end with is like have help with it too. Like have mentors and listen to advice. Don't think you can do it all on your own. There's a lot of people that are like, this is my idea and I'm gonna plow through. Like I am friends with all these successful guitar shop managers, employees, owners, and we all exchange ideas, and I sit there like a sponge and just shut up and learn.
Not to toot your horn, but I think that's something you've done really well, is figure out, hey, these people, have been successful. I love what they do. How can I incorporate that? How can I take advice from them really graciously?
Put your ego in the closet and shut up and be a sponge. Just shut up and listen.
Not unlike learning to play the guitar.
Yeah, just shut up and play.
Learn from people who are better than you. Yes, but anyways.
That's why I watch Jonathan play a lot. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, tuning in. That's what we do. Like, just dial it in. I'm leaving.
When I was a little kid, I had to twist the antenna for my dad because the thing broke.
I'm not going to say any jokes to that one.
So I would go outside and he would like stand at the window and be like, yeah, it was great.
That's not what I was thinking.
Times. Great memories.
Wrap it up, Jonathan.
Hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell so you don't miss these kind of conversations in the future. We'll see you guys next time.